This week's ride saw us meet up at Callander to do the out and back route to Killin, which we had to cancel a few weeks back due to the poor weather. Shortly after we set off, Danny had a bit of a mechanical, so we soft pedalled for a bit before stopping at the Falls of Lenny to regroup. Andy had turned up on a steel fixie this time, and I was feeling sorry for his legs just thinking about the Loch Earn head switchbacks, which top out at about 17%. This section which skirts the River Lenny is always a pleasure to ride, as it's a wee rolly twisty number along the riverbank. This is one of our favourite rides which we try to visit at least once during every season of the year. The view here is looking north up Loch Lubnaig. The difference in the drone footage is pretty reflective of the temperature conditions in the day. When we were in the sunshine it was really rather nice, but when we were in the shaded sections or when it became overcast it was pretty chilly. If you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing to the channel, and if you'd like to follow any of the routes, you can download the GPX files by following me on Strava at Douglas Gilligan RACC, or why not consider joining us on a future ride.
I almost bailed out because I thought it's going to be too cold.
Well, I was a little bit worried. Bit of snow on the bend there. We've got 16 out today, really good turnout. A couple of new guys, Carrie and Tony, quite a few regulars. Beautiful morning. Blue skies, very little wind. There it is. Snow on the bend. Couple of wee icy patches here and there just need to look out for. Just south of Balquidder you get a lovely view looking west down Loch Foyle, and I managed to capture the team as they were crossing the little bridge on the approach to it. Is it?
Still there.
Is he still there? We stopped in at Rob Roy McGregor's grave in the church cemetery at Balquidder. It's remarkable to think that he lived to the ripe old age of 70, which is some innings for those days. I got a little bit more practice in with the Insta360 camera again this week, and I'm pretty impressed with its versatility. It adds a little bit more work to the editing process, but can provide some interesting angles. Brad and I didn't climb the switchbacks and took the old railway line option, which is a lot more gradual, but you do have to negotiate a few sets of gates and some icy puddles. I then got the drone up to capture some views of Loch Earn and the team as they cycled above it. The next clip is looking up the hill towards the summit of Glen Ogle. We weren't the only ones out getting some fresh air and enjoying some time on our bikes, and we get some lovely smells as we pass this family. Having reached our highest point of the day, it was then time to enjoy the long descent into Killin. Gonzo had opened and closed the gates at the top of Glen Ogle for us, so he set off later than we did, but he quickly closed the gap in the descent. There has been a fair bit of worse traffic in this section, which was a little soft and made for a few slithery moments. We were soon down at Killin, admiring the falls of Docker and looking forward to getting ourselves fed. We stopped in at the Capercaillie for lunch, and some of us managed to get seated in the small conservatory section, which was just as nice as the fare on offer. Stu, Terry and I decided to go for the Moretti option rather than our usual coffees. I think we deserved them. Fed and watered, we set off for our climb out of Killin. I'd upped my weekly mileage this week, and my legs were certainly feeling it as we headed back to the top of Glen Ogle. I was lucky enough to enjoy the downhill and the switchbacks without having to endure climbing up them. They really are pretty tough, and Andy told me that he almost made it to the top, so chapeau sir. Dale almost took a wee shortcut down the hill here. If you decide to do this route or part of it, another option for food which we've used in the past is the Moore Hotel in Balquidder, who makes some fantastic pizzas. On the way back, we took the cycle path down towards Strathaya. This means you bypass Balquidder before cutting back towards the northerly tip of Loch Ludnig. I tried to film the descent of the wee switchbacks at the start of Loch Ludnig, but unfortunately missed it and didn't catch Big Alan taking a wee tumble. Boo! I'm pleased to report that he emerged unscathed though, and just as importantly, his bike is okay. This ride is heavily front loaded as far as the climbing goes, so the pressure is mostly off as soon as you get to the top of Glenogle on the way back. It's a ride that I thoroughly recommend as it's seriously scenic, but there is a fair bit of work in it. If you're considering it, just go, you won't regret it. As is often the case with us on this ride, the pace tends to ramp up towards the end of the River Lenny section, and Saturday was no exception. We had another great day, and thanks to everyone for turning up.
This man's got all the gear, look. Bike's all nice and shiny. A very impressive debut, I may say, Gary. Good to see you.
Thanks, Dougie.
Don't be a stranger, man.
And the ride by the numbers, we covered 48 miles with 2,700 feet of climbing. Thanks for watching.